I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands.
These results may contain images of child sexual abuse.
17% said they had encountered self-harm content pushed at them in the last 7 days.
I'd like them to be useful enough that they want to use them more.
Mr. Zuckerberg, what the hell were you thinking?
Product that's killing people.
Instagram is the gateway to degeneracy. Before Zuckerberg took over, it was just an innocent app merely designed to share photos of our hobbies, travels, and friends. It was heralded as one of the most innovative and wholesome platforms in the social media space. However, over time, Instagram morphed into the very entity it aimed to oppose, now widely criticized as one of the worst social media platforms in existence. From promoting the playground, enabling comparison culture, turning a blind eye to murder, and even succubus OnlyFans models pretending to breastfeed on the gram to suck in unsuspecting boys and men into their web of pixel pleasure, Instagram has corrupted our culture, our society, and our minds, and serves to be the platform that promotes these activities. It's one of the main causes of our society's degeneracy, debauchery, and fakery. Elon Musk even said that there's no difference between Instagram and OnlyFans, and I'm gonna talk about why he said that later in the video. But since its launch in 2010, the platform has undergone significant changes. Initially, we were all ignorant to the obstacles and manipulative dangers that awaited us. If the product is free, then you are the product. It was crazy to think that Instagram would one day evolve into a platform that allows individuals to actually advertise their services and partake in glorified prostitution. Instagram has given birth to a whole host of problems, some of them more obvious and apparent than others, and one particular trend that is synonymous with the platform is comparison culture. There was a study that came out which ranked the top 5 worst social media platforms for mental health, and surprise surprise, Instagram was top of the list. Everything you see on Instagram is fake. It's like stepping into a wonderland where the perfect people with perfect lives live. Perfect lighting, perfect makeup, Photoshop, and fame chasing, clout chasing make Instagram the most artificial platform right now. Just look at this woman on the left next to her real picture on the right. It's the same thing here. These pictures were taken 2 weeks apart. If you've seen the Black Mirror episode that explores the implications of a social media driven society and how it affects individuals' worth, you get a sense for how Instagram operates virtually. People can up or downvote each other in real life, but they are all fake about it, hiding their real emotions just so they can get higher ratings.
Hey, Lacey! Babs, it's great to see you! You too.
The episode follows Lacey Pound as she navigates a world where people's ratings on a social media app determine their opportunities and relationships. Lacey's obsession with maintaining a high rating leads her down a path of desperation, and ultimately she finds freedom in disconnecting from the digital world. Sound familiar? In the real world, however, higher ratings translate into money. This influencer here was caught taking a picture on a so-called private jet, which was later revealed to be a studio set. But if you look at her Instagram following as of 2024, she is verified and is almost at 1 million followers. So in the end, who actually won? Instagram is all visual. No one bothers to read the comments. You can turn yourself into a completely different person on Instagram, which affects a user's sense of self-worth when they see girls and boys with perfect bodies and a perfect lifestyle. This leads to one of the 7 deadly sins, being envy, which can be described as a sad or resentful covetousness towards the traits or possessions of someone else. I mean, think about it. On Instagram, there's nothing sad. It's always happy. It's always high quality. We only want something because we see other people have it. If we never see other people having that thing, we would be content with what we have. There was an interesting study at a university with monkeys. It's kind of funny, but it's also sad at the same time. The studies found that the monkeys were perfectly happy with exchanging their stones for cucumbers until they saw other monkeys exchanging their stones for grapes.
And see, each of the other one sees that. See, gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber.
The cucumber monkeys had a reaction to it the same way people do with social media and Instagram. But while comparison culture is the coke light of degeneracy, I want to talk about how Instagram promotes the playground. Playground bullies have long used the internet, but unlike the forums and file transfer services in the dark web that cater to people who have an interest in illicit content, Instagram doesn't just host these activities, its algorithms actively promote them. The Wall Street Journal wanted to see what Instagram Reels would provide users interested in children, so it set up test accounts posing as adults on new devices that followed young gymnasts, cheerleaders, teen and preteen influencers on the platform. The results were damning. Instagram's system served jarring doses of salacious content to those test accounts, including risque footage of children as well as overtly sexual adult videos and ads for some of the biggest US brands. The Wall Street Journal saw that a large segment of followers on the popular accounts were adult men, and that many of the accounts who followed those children had also demonstrated interest in sex content related to both children and adults.
One thing that the researchers that we were working with observed was that even touching a single account in this network would be enough to start triggering Instagram to recommend suggested people you should follow, who would be either consumers of this content or users who were purporting to be underage children selling content of themselves.
In one test, following young girls led to recommendations that gradually shifted toward adult-themed content, including some accounts that promoted such content. They then had their test accounts follow users who followed those same preteen and teen influencers and content creators. It gets even more disturbing from there. According to the report, the platform served a mix of adult pornography and child sexualizing material. When experts on algorithms reviewed the tests, Meta's AI tracking learned certain users who view those content creators would also engage with content sexualizing children and would actually direct them toward it. Meta declined to comment on why algorithms compiled streams of separate videos showing children, sex, and advertisements, but a spokesman said in October they introduced new brand safety tools that give advertisers greater control over where their ads appear, and that Instagram either removes or reduces the prominence of 4 million videos suspected of violating its standards each month. But while platforms like Instagram do not technically allow children under 13 to have their own accounts, some parents help out by running their kids' pages for them, hoping to help them in their quest to become influencers, models, or actors. Unfortunately, this kind of ambition can lead to some bad situations, and a recent investigation by the New York Times exposed the dark underbelly of the world of child influencers on Meta's platforms. What starts off as a parent's best effort to jumpstart their kid's career can quickly descend into a dark underworld dominated by adult men, many of whom openly admit on other platforms to being sexually attracted to children. The 5,000 mom-run accounts investigated by the Times offered disturbing insights into how social media is reshaping childhood with direct parental encouragement and involvement. And if that wasn't alarming enough, there's evidence that Meta has known about this toxic practice for years. You see, the driving force behind child influencers are their parents, and it was discovered that some of them sell pictures, exclusive chat sessions, and even the girls' worn leotards to mostly unknown male followers. Kidfluencers can make up to 6 figures monthly from subscriptions and other interactions with their fans, and larger followings will impress more prominent brands. Instagram's algorithm then rewards them with greater visibility. An audience demographic firm found 32 million adult male followers among the 5,000 child influencer accounts the Times examined. Another analysis using image classification software indicated that suggestive images are most likely to garner likes and comments, and it seems that interacting with a primarily male audience opens the door for these kids' abuse. Sometimes these men flatter, bully, and blackmail girls and their parents to elicit racy pictures. The outlet also monitored exchanges on Telegram, where men talk openly about their desire to abuse the children they follow on Instagram. "It's like a candy store," one of them said. "God bless Instamoms," said another. Account owners said that when they report explicit images or possible predators to Instagram, they are typically met with silence or indifference. And the safety staff at Meta were met with the same indifference when they warned the higher-ups about the fact that new paid subscription tools on Facebook and Instagram were being abused by adults who were profiting from exploiting their children. 1 year ago, 2 teams raised alarms in internal reports after discovering that hundreds of what Meta calls parent-managed minor accounts were using the feature to sell exclusive content to paying customers. While the images did not involve nudity, Meta staffers found evidence that some parents knowingly produced content for other adults' sexual gratification. They also found evidence that some parents engaged in sexual banter about their kids or made their daughters interact with sexual messages. It was additionally revealed that Meta's recommendation systems were promoting underage modeling accounts to users suspected of behaving inappropriately towards minors. But just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, in 2019, Bianca Devins, a 17-year-old from New York, attended a concert with 21-year-old Brandon Clark. Sadly, she never returned home. In the early hours of Sunday morning, Devins was sliced and killed by a knife to the throat. Soon afterwards, images of Devins' lifeless body began to surface online, which were then shared across Instagram. The images, which came from Clark's account, included a photograph of her torso with the caption, "I'm sorry, Bianca." Another was a selfie that Clark had taken while lying on a tarpaulin that was allegedly covering Devins' body. It took Instagram several hours to remove these disturbing images, by which point they had been shared hundreds of times. And shamelessly exploiting the situation, some social media users capitalized on the events in hope of gaining more followers and increasing their popularity, posting comments like, "Follow me and DM me for picture and video." Clark, who was subsequently charged with Devins' murder, saw his social media following surge, and astoundingly, some twisted individuals even edited images of Devins' body into vile memes. Users who tried to flag up the distressing images to Instagram's moderators claimed their reports were rejected initially, but after experiencing a lot of backlash, these were finally taken down. In the aftermath, Instagram was heavily criticized for not addressing the images sooner and allowing users to exploit Devins' traumatic death for personal gain. And this isn't an anomaly. As NBC recently reported, a new kind of sexualized content is flooding Instagram. Ads for sexually suggestive, soulless, dirty-talking chatbots powered by AI. Dozens of tech startups, according to the reports, are using Instagram to post explicit advertisements that promote not safe for work experiences. The ads promise not safe for work pics, custom pinup girls, and censor-free chats. Many of the ads feature digitally created girlfriends with large breasts and sexually provocative clothing. Some ads even use memes that include popular children's TV characters such as SpongeBob SquarePants, Bart Simpson, or even the Cookie Monster to promote apps where people can create not safe for work pictures. Others feature digitally created girls who appear to be teenagers or younger, sometimes in an anime style. Meta had dozens of developers who were displaying sexually explicit advertisements on their apps. Keep in mind that many of Instagram's users are as young as 13 years old, and possibly even much younger than this. It seems there's a common pattern unfolding the more we get into this. Kids who really don't have a choice getting exploited on Instagram, and women getting exploited on Instagram. But when it comes to Dubai, the exploitation is by choice, fueled by greed for money, doing something strange for a piece of change. When I first heard the term Dubai Porter Party, it was 2019. At the time, Dubai Porter Parties were almost an urban legend, something that some communities on the internet knew about, but overall, there was something that most of the population, and certainly not the mainstream media, had ever heard about. Fast forward 5 years, and almost everyone knows what a Dubai Porter Party is. So, in a nutshell, Dubai Porter Party is when a woman, usually an Instagram model, gets flown out to Dubai by a rich Emirati who pays them to do horrible things. And I'm not talking about a little 50 Shades action here, but I am talking about something that involves a number 2. If you're a rich Arab from the UAE and you want to see just how low women from the West will sink in order to make a few bucks, it's really very simple. You browse Instagram for the hottest girl you can find and then invite her to Dubai for a $30,000 paid holiday that she can post about to all of her adoring followers. And what does she have to do in return? Well, let's get into it. A few years ago, a website named Tag the Sponsor decided to expose Instagram models, and it didn't take long for it to be inundated with screenshots of these girls agreeing to do all sorts of degenerate acts for cash. Tag the Sponsor featured images and videos of young women agreeing to do everything from pleasure camels to letting men on them or smear it on their face to abusing 11-year-old boys who need to become men. Just take a look at this interaction with a Dubai spender and IG model. So it starts off on Instagram. I have a commercial offer for you. What exactly? I wish you to host you for 4 nights in Moscow in January. You will receive an important money. Round business trip tickets are included. Exactly from 17 till 21. From March, I will be in Dubai, and from tomorrow in Paris. So the girl responds, how much money? I'm close to Paris now. 1 hour flight. Contact me WhatsApp. So she proceeds to send the WhatsApp details, and now it goes to WhatsApp. Hi, it's Amin. Good evening. First, I want to say that you look very beautiful. and I'm sure that we can find a solution. If you come in Paris Thursday would be nice. Another model from Russia will be here, but you do not have to interact with her. Merci, I'm a little sick, catch a cold maybe I will be fit on Thursday. How many days you stay in Paris? I don't like another girls, I'm too crazy. Gotta let him know that you don't want the threesome, but you still want the bag. In Paris, I will stay till next Thursday. If you stay the whole week, I thought about 35k. As I told you, you don't need to interact with the other girls. She has a junior suite. You have a different junior suite too, or staying in mine, which is bigger, but I need specific services from you. I want to make sure that you can provide it because I have particular fantasies. She then agrees to the 35k. She then asks, what are the fantasies? Roleplay. You have to act as a very young girl. Oh my word. Okay, for sure I can provide this. And me, young, what else? I want sex with protection but oral without condom. And I like ending in mouth or your face. As you agree, let me know and my assistant will set up everything with tickets. I'm honest with you actually, I not do this, but Paris is beautiful.
Got him!
And I can agree with your offer, and what you like, I like. You are my type from pics. 5 days, $35,000, and I could come from Saturday. No worries, I just want you to be my girlfriend for a few days, and I don't want an escort. I pay like that because I want you to look very, very young. I hope you will not be uncomfortable, but as we stay together, I just need you to use a lollipop, watching a cartoon, and being dressed as 15 years old. So then she sends through her passport. This young lady is from Ukraine, and as promised, Amin sends through the ticket information. Now that she is more comfortable, Amin further asks her to send a photo of her in pigtails, like a little girl. And of course, she complies. Can't bite the hand that feeds. And just to show how sick this guy is, he tells her that he will be buying her a pacifier. We don't fully know how deep that rabbit hole went, but another anonymous woman shared her Dubai story with Atlanta Celebrity News, and she said, I've literally been pissed on so many times. I just don't understand why they like it. After the third time you get on, you get used to it. I've had to have sex with a German Shepherd dog in front of Saudi royalty. I've got paid to eat. I've got paid to get beat up. I've even had to stick a live salmon in some 65-year-old man's ass. I've had sex with 14-year-old boys to make them men. I've smeared my face with. So to all of you ladies that are going to bash me, I'm 24 years old and I have $1 million liquid in my bank account. I'm now retired and can have normal sex with whoever I want. Now, I said earlier that Elon Musk once alluded to the fact that there's no difference between Instagram and OnlyFans. And I agree with him. In order to have paying subscribers on your OnlyFans, you need to have fans. But if you're just starting out, how do you actually get these fans? You see, Instagram and OnlyFans work together, and OnlyFans models have figured this out. Instagram is a sales funnel for OnlyFans, and a sales funnel is basically the journey potential customers go through on the way to purchase. The awareness, interest, decision, and finally action or purchase. Instagram is used to get awareness and interest. This starts off with a library of thirst trap pictures all over the IG feed like this.
People be like, why you be posting your ass so much? Bitch! Do you know how much protein I've consumed in the last 2 years? Do you know how many fucking times I've had to set up for hip thrust? Do you know how many times I almost passed out?
Afterwards, to make sure the chances of a purchase is more likely, these demons have taken it to another level. I'm obviously going to blur these out because I don't want to get age restricted by the YouTube gods. The OnlyFans models are shamelessly bypassing Instagram's nudity restrictions by pretending to breastfeed baby dolls. Instagram has a strict no nudity policy which includes photos and videos of female nipples. However, it does make some exceptions, including posts of women actively breastfeeding. Bizarrely, several of the videos show the woman staring seductively down the camera and even biting their lips while holding a doll to their bare chest. This woman even shows us how to brush her teeth like she doesn't know what toothpaste is. The captions on these videos tend to be similar to those on legitimate breastfeeding videos. Breastfeeding is beautiful, one reads, while another says, breastfeeding mothers, alongside a heart emoji. However, tapping into their profile confirms their identities as adult stars, with their OnlyFans pages promoted on their Instagram bios. So Instagram is allowing women to post videos of themselves breastfeeding, and it's been randomly showing up in my reels, and every single one of them has an OnlyFans. Using a baby for internet clout and to show some titty seems a little dubious. Pretending to breastfeed a doll so you can get your boobs out and labeling it as educational to get around guidelines while promoting your OnlyFans we've reached a new low, people. After capturing these lonely, horny men and young boys on the front end, they are tempted with the link in their bio to their OnlyFans. And once the succubus has got them in her web, they get a one-way ticket to instant gratification, followed by a hollow post-nut regret, as they have now sold their soul to Instagram and OnlyFans for pixel pleasure. And Instagram won't stop this, because if their algorithms will promote the playground, then best believe that they will promote breastfeeding degeneracy.